Hello and welcome. This is In the Studio, episode number 63. So before we get into today's video, I have some news to share. My remix of Jerem Isma-ae's Kubrick won first place in the Sonic Academy remix competition. Pretty stoked about that. So it'll be released through G Productions, which is Jerem's label, forthcoming. So I'll let you know as soon as I find out about the release date. I used that track in a few videos here on YouTube as well. I used it in the arpeggio video, and I also used it in the More Punch video, which was the gated parallel distortion technique. So maybe you want to go check out those if you haven't seen them. But I'll also play a little snippet of that track, the remix, at the end of this video if you want to, have a little preview if you haven't heard it before. So. Okay, let's get into today's video. I'm working on a new track here, and I'm still putting together all the parts that I need. And right now I'm going to do like a sustained effect. I'm going to use a vocal for it. This is something that could be really versatile in the arrangement process. It could sound nice just tucked down low as like a just subtle layer of just almost noise, or you could use it as like a pitched riser, or even turn it into like almost like a string type of sound. So there's a lot of uses for this in the arrangement process. It kind of just gives you a lot of options. You don't have to use a vocal for this, but I find it works well because you just have that human element that just I think works well for this type of application. So I'm going to give you a little preview of the track and the vocal we'll be working with, and then we'll get right to it. Here we go. Without you. Okay, so that's a little piece of the groove and the vocal we'll be working with today. So let's get to it here. The vocal's already in the mixer, routed to this channel 44. To start this, I'm going to put a reverb on here, and we're going to leave it at 100%. All I want is a reverb signal, and I'm going to turn the pre-delay down, and we're going to turn the decay up pretty far. I'm just using the reverb here pretty much just like a sound design tool. So let's listen to that now. Cool, think that'll work. So I have this little 8-bar section highlighted. That's perfect. We're going to render this out as audio we're going to render just the vocal out. So let's arm that track for recording by hitting this little dot down here in the bottom of the track, and it's going to turn it purple. That means it's armed for recording. I'm going to hit this little drop down, this recording, and render to WAV files. Start. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to just move this off to the side. For right now, we don't need it for the moment. So now we have our rendered vocal reverb. I'm going to put this new track, or this new sample, on the same track that I had the original vocal on, so 44. And I'm going to mute that reverb for now. I might use it though, and I'll unarm it for recording. I could time stretch this out and create, we could try that. I'm going to hit this little time stretch here. So that's going to stretch the audio. And you can come up with some really interesting results this way. Okay, I think that'll work there. I don't want to stretch it too far in this case. So I'm going to take it off stretch, and I'm just going to pick out a little snippet here. So I might take this bar here, and we'll just try and get this looped up. So I'm going to turn this to none and scooch that right over, and I might even loop it over just 3 bars instead of 4. Let's see if that's how that's sounding. See, I don't want any clicks or plops, obviously, so let's just kind of check that. It's not bad. We can fix it a little bit though. Okay. So what you can do is just do the declicking on the actual sample, the sampler, if you will. So we'll just go down here and go to transient bleeding, and that creates little fades at the end. You can barely see them, like right there. They're like a greenish turquoise color in this instance. But all right, so I'm actually going to run it through another reverb, and maybe with a different setting. I'm going to try this chorus space, and maybe I'll change the color to 1980s. Yeah, and that kind of just washed over the loop points. It just kind of blended everything together. So let's hear it with the track now. Cool, I think that'll work. Let's try. Just wanted to experiment a little bit with the stretching on it, but I think that'll work for right now. Okay, so let's maybe add a filter to this just to clean it up a little bit. Yeah. Just gonna do a band pass filter here, make that a little bit of a wider band. And I want to try and add a little bit of a chorusing effect on this too. So I'm just going to use the Fruity chorus, the one that's native to FL Studio, and let's go with the Fat Clean preset. Cool. And then I'd probably add a little bit of sidechain to it as well. So let's do that. You know what, maybe we could use gross beat for this. That way, if I did want to do some timing, some like time manipulation with it later in the arrangement, I can do that. We can use this as sidechain as well. So I might just pull this up. Yeah, I mean, you can come up with some really unique grooves this way, just kind of drawing in your own curves rather than just relying on, predetermined or built-in sidechain curves through LFO tool or Kickstart or whatever you're using. So sometimes I'll do this instead. So that'll work for the time being. I'd probably spend a little bit more time just to fine tune that and make sure that I got it sitting and bouncing the way I wanted it to, but that'll work for the time being. And that'll give me some options to play with some like timing manipulation later in the arrangement too for this sound. And then what you can do, I mean, you can either tuck it down low, or you could use it as a pitched riser. So we could pitch it up maybe by 2 octaves here. And that could sound really awesome in breakdown. Switch it to stretch. Yeah, you could pitch it up like that and then pitch it back down if you want, or even just pitch it up and turn it into like a sustained, like string type of sound and then fade it away. So it just kind of gives you some nice options, and obviously I would spend a little bit more time on it, to make sure that I had it dialed. But I just kind of wanted to show you the way that I might go about creating some sort of like pitched vocal riser that has a nice organic feel to it. So that is the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. And also, if you want me to give you feedback on your projects, I'm still willing to do the project feedback. I have one episode of that out right now. So just email me at flprojectfeedback@gmail.com. Include your project file, obviously, any samples that you used, and if you have a certain VST, maybe let me know. Just in case I don't have it, you can bounce those out, and then I'll take a look at your projects and give you my thoughts, give you some feedback if you want it. So yeah, that's still available for you to take advantage of if you'd like. So yeah, that's it for today. Take care. We'll see you later.